Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Brought to you by the Health Services Authority. Caring people, quality service. Visit hsa.ky.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health. 2 locations, Governor Square and Grand Harbor. Refill and transfer prescriptions online. Call 947-8900 or visit healthcarepharmacy.ky. Also brought to you by Cayman Medical Center, Cayman's most awarded private medical clinic.
And UHealth, International University of Miami.
World-class healthcare in the heart of Miami.
The Light Room, your holistic sanctuary for physical and mental restoration, repair, and rejuvenation. The power that made the body heals the body. 38 Pasadora Place, Georgetown. Find us online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Attention HR managers and business leaders. Want to boost productivity, reduce absenteeism, and show your team that their well-being matters? The Lightroom now offers custom corporate memberships designed to enhance energy and mental clarity, reduce stress, and improve overall health, creating a healthier, more focused workforce. Invest in your team's well-being because a thriving team leads to a thriving business. Visit thelightroom.ky to learn more. It's a new era in wellness.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
Hello and welcome to For the Health of It. I will be interviewing a Miss Cayman Universe contestant. I believe she was number 8, Aliyah Harrison. Hello and welcome to For the Health of It, Aliyah.
Hi, Ms. Tara. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. And we're going to be talking about bullying. Miss Aliyah was bullied during her time in high school, and she's going to explain how she overcame that to become a Miss Cayman contestant and how it's affected her life. Miss Aliyah, can you tell our audience a little bit about, define what bullying looks like?
Well, for me, I was bullied throughout high school, and it was physical and emotionally and mentally because it took an impact on my mental. It literally wasn't the best experience during high school, but I did overcome it. I was called new names, had people throw stuff at me, and I know a lot of people experience bullying, but for me, I don't like confrontation or conflict. I would just try to ignore when I was being bullied, and I think it got worse when I ignored people. And the part that hit me the most is when my bully told me to harm myself. And I literally thought to myself that it has to stop. And I was bullied in school when that person told me to go and harm myself in front of the whole class. And because at school we're not allowed to have our phones and stuff like that, I had to walk in front of the whole class and ask the teacher to use her phone and call my mom. And I was sobbing. And I just feel like if I had just let someone know from the beginning, that it wouldn't have taken such a long time for me to go through bullying for such a long period of time.
Let's back up a little bit. You said, your bully, people he threw or she threw things at you and they called you names. Was that just, some people would say, well, come on, Tara. That's just regular school stuff. But this seemed to be a little different for you. You want to explain how?
Well, I like I said, I really don't like confrontation and conflict. So I feel like because I wouldn't speak up for myself, then I was just mainly a target. And with the throwing stuff, I was leaving class, and because I chose to ignore the person, they literally took a box from out of the class, and they were on the second floor, and I was on the ground floor, and they dropped the box on top of my head. So I wouldn't think that is the type of bullying.
That's not normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
So-
normal stuff. Yeah. So your
Yeah, but-
teachers didn't see this?
Well, no, I don't think my teacher saw. But when the person told me to go and harm myself, there was a teacher in the class, and I don't remember her doing anything. And I had to call my mom, and she came down there, and she was like, something has to be done. And they suspended that individual for 1 day.
That was, explain, what year was that?
I was in year 9 at the time when the person told me to go harm myself.
So
when
that,
the person that dropped the box on top of my head, that was year 8.
so we're looking at what, 2018, 17?
That would have been 2013 and 14.
So bullying wasn't that was looked at almost like a, different then as it is now. No, that behavior would never be tolerated now.
I would hope that it's not being tolerated.
Yeah. So that was the dropping on your head, the box on your head. And I can't imagine it was light.
No, and my friend at the time, she wanted to fight the person, and I don't see the point of fighting at all. So I just left it alone, moved on. But I should have actually spoke up about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you said, you are you. You don't like confrontation. And I guess maybe your bring up, say as they call it in Cayman, was walk away or turn the other cheek, because a lot of us were taught that.
Yes, Mom. And even with the name calling, when I had told my mom about it, she was like, well, as long as they're not putting their hand on you, 6 and stones may break your bone, but words can't harm you. So I would keep that in my head.
But words can harm you, can't they?
They do, but to be honest, if I had the right, like going to someone other than my parent, because your parent can't come to the school and say anything to children, you have to go to counselors and stuff like that. If I actually had the right resources, then maybe bullying could be stopped in school, and then it wouldn't harm us.
Mm-hmm.
But we never know. We never know what might happen.
So this started in school, and you said it took a toll on you emotionally, physically, and mentally. Would you explain what you mean by
Well, emotionally, I wouldn't want to talk to people. So I would just be quiet. I would sit down and try to be so silent that nobody hears me, so that people don't bully me. And mentally, it gave me anxiety around people. It made me feel like people were out to get me. So I would be more like assertive with people and just keep my guards up. So I would try to get my words in before that person can actually try and harm me. Growing up with such anxiety now, you have to like speak up about it and try and find the right resources.
So you lived in fear and anxiety for most of your school.
Yes, Mom. And even after school, even going to school and going to the work world, I would still have that kind of guard up, because I would feel like people, if somebody's saying something to me in a certain tone, I would feel threatened. And then I would feel like they're bullying me, but in reality, they're just trying to say something. That's just how they talk, stuff like that.
So you constantly questioned yourself.
Yes, but now I'm going to therapy, getting the help that, like breathing through stuff and kind of just letting myself know that these are just in your head. People are not out to harm you and stuff like that. Certain techniques to use.
How old were you when this started?
I was 12 years old.
And it continued until you were
17.
And during that time, you didn't tell your school counselors or your teachers. They didn't see some change in your behavior.
Well, I always had, with bullying, I always had like this face on, so I wouldn't let people know. Only my friends that would see it happening would know. Even the teachers, I would make it look as if it's not bothering me. And during the time when I was attending school, they only had like 2 counselors, and you would have to be assigned to the counselor. And it was just so hard to even try and speak to a counselor, because they're always busy. And if you go to the counselor and stuff like that, then people would then say, oh, you, back then, I don't know if the term still being used, be like, oh, you informing and stuff like that, So I just tried to keep it all bottled up. I don't know if they did see the changes.
And looking back on that, was that something that you could have, would you have liked to change that?
I think that if someone is going through bullying in school or whatever they may be going through, that we shouldn't be, we have to be assigned to a certain counselor. And if it's happening right now, we can't wait until next week to see the counselor. You get what I mean? You never know what might happen in that time period, because not everybody have that that background, like have family that's there to support them during that time. The person that told me to go harm myself, if I never had a supporting family, you never know, like the time period, you can just say, oh, you gotta wait till next week to see the counselor. So I think if they have more counselors in school for children to reach out to, it should be so much better. I think that's what should have been at the time, more counselors in school.
That brings me to my next question. What would you say to someone right now who is being bullied in school or wherever?
I would tell that individual to talk to somebody that you trust, because it can feel exposing and uncomfortable talking about our experience of bullying, but that's why talking to somebody that you trust can make a difference. Don't just go to anybody, because it can be hard to talk about bullying.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the person who bullied you, your mean bully, because you said it was one person, since school?
No, Mom. I haven't seen them ever since I left high school.
How did this experience change you?
Well, for me, bullying had made me more defensive and assertive, and I would always have my guards up around people. But I've changed for the better, because I've gained confidence in defending myself now, and just overall confidence, and knowing that despite going through bullying, I wasn't the only person, and there was help. I just needed to act, and I believe that being bullied gave me hope in life, as I can better help those that are now being bullied, and let them know that there's always a choice, and there's ways that we can stop bullying.
What are some of those ways that you can stop bullies?
Well, you can speak to somebody that you trust. You can go to a counselor at your school, tell them what's happening, or even just going to the principal directly and letting them know what's happening around school, so that changes can be made. And other people around, not to just be bystanders, So stand up if you see something happening. You can make a change around the world. You just have to be the change.
Yeah. So when you see in October they have an anti-bullying campaign, going on, how does this make you feel?
When I see it, it gives me a sense of hope. I know that people are still caring about bullying, trying to stand up to make a difference. And I just love seeing that happening. I've seen little children wearing the pink shirt that says choose kindness, and it just gives me that sense of hope that there's change coming.
And during your experience in school, When your bully would approach you, what was the feeling that came up?
For me, it was fear.
Fear?
That, yes, Mom, that they're going to say something mean and everybody's going to just laugh at me. Nobody's going to actually stand up to help me. And I know people around me knew that I was soft-spoken and not really the conflict type of person. So I would always kind of have a little hope as well to see if somebody would stand up for me, but that didn't really happen. So I just had fear.
Yes. Has this made you a stronger person? Has it made you...
Yes, most definitely it has made me a stronger person. And strangely enough, it has made me more compassionate and more empathetic and sympathetic towards people. And knowing that I have this strength, even though I didn't earn it through the nicest way, but it did make me stronger.
I heard you in the last part of your, a couple of minutes back, where you say if you encouraging people to speak up. Do you ever see some of your schoolmates and have you ever questioned, hey, why didn't you come and help me out?
No, I didn't ask any person back then why they never help me, because I was telling myself that, I should have spoke up for myself, because if I don't speak up, then nobody can speak up for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have one friend, and I'm truly grateful for her because she knew who I was as a person, so she would try her best to help me without getting in trouble, because I didn't want to get anybody in trouble as well. Because I don't know what people might do, Some people might be upset and want to fight, and then you can get in trouble for fighting in school. So I wouldn't want to have that on my conscience.
If you saw your bully today, what would you tell him or her?
I would have told my bully that, no matter what you're going through, you shouldn't try to take out your anger on other people. What you have done could have caused harm, but luckily it has made me a stronger person. That's what I would tell my bully.
What would you say to the teachers in school now who are more, what's the word I want to use, more in tune with the languaging of bullying?
I would want them to know that they shouldn't be a bystander, but instead they should become an upstander, because being an upstander in school, it not only helped to target bullying, but it showed other teachers, bystanders, how you can take action to prevent bullying. So don't be a bystander. You have more authority over children. Speak up. Let people know that, that's not nice what you're doing. Just try to help the actual victim in the case instead of trying to turn a blind eye to the situation, because it doesn't help to be an upstander.
Yes. So going through your years of high school, did you feel disconnected or connected to your school?
Well, for me, education, I was always told education is the key to success. So I would try to go to school and focus more on passing my subject. I kind of felt disconnected, but I also felt connected because I know I had to stay focused and to get my subject so that I can become successful later on in life. So that was just my main focus.
You had a lot of grit, a lot of determination to stay in school despite what was happening around you.
Yes, Mom. Because I know that bully, they're not going to help me later on in life if I drop out of school. So I just had to be strong and tell myself that, I can do it. Whatever I put my mind to, I can do it. And they're not going to define me, because I would not leave a powerful thing such as self-definition in another person's hands. So I had to take control of that.
So you decided to throw your hat into the Miss Cayman competition.
Yes, Mom.
How did that, did, did your experience with bullying help you, or did it make it worse, or?
Well, I feel like it helped me because going into the pageant, I gained more experience of being confident, and then even one of our sessions that we had with you helped me, and it showed me different techniques on how to cope with my anxiety and just know that not everybody's out to get me. So I feel like it helped going into the pageant.
And people who have suffered trauma throughout their life, they said that it helps them in many different ways, and some of that could be that you're very intuitive to people. Like you could look at a man or a woman or whomever and just, that person is good. That person won't hurt me. Kind of, you sum them up fairly quickly. What skills did you pick up?
From entering the pageant?
Not so much
Or just overall?
Yeah.
Well, until I started therapy, I learned that, not everybody's out to get me, male or female. Before therapy, I used to think that every laugh was a laugh at me. Like, if I don't know the person and they're laughing, or they're laughing at me, male or female. But I think that going through therapy, it helped me to have my fight or flight mode off. Like, it helped me cope with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not everybody out to get me.
No. That must have been really difficult going through life thinking that every laugh or weird smile was meant to, somewhere to hurt you.
Yeah. But I'm still working on it because I'm not perfect, right? So I'm still trying to cope with what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
I know, though, I wouldn't call myself a victim anymore. I'd call myself a survivor because I can now use my social media platform to advocate for bullying and to help others. I don't, even being on the radio station now, I might have an impact on somebody that is experiencing bullying now.
Mm-hmm.
So just to use my voice to be a change in the community is I'm truly grateful for this experience.
How many contestants was it? It was
9.
9. And going through this experience, you must have been sensitive to different people's moods and
personalities.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was, but during the time of the pageant, I was going to my therapy sessions, so I learned to cope with. Not everybody is gonna have the same personality as me, and I can't judge a person based on their personality. I have to get to know them first. And yeah, so I would just try to keep that in my head, that try to understand the person before you judge them. So even though it was kind of difficult in the beginning, I did eventually get to meet a lot of the girls' personality and bond with them.
Mm.
Yeah,
so being in Miss Cayman was a really good experience. It helped you increase your confidence?
It did. It helped me to find my weaknesses and, turn those into strength. And it helped me to find friends. Because I've made friends with the girls. So that was a good experience. But with my confidence, yes, it has helped.
Anything else you'd like to let the audience for the health of it know before we wrap up this interview?
Well, I would just want to let everybody know that bullying, it does more harm than it does good. So to please be an upstander for those that may be going through bullying, because you never know what change you might bring to someone's life.
What is an upstander? That's what you said, right? That's the term you use. I don't think our audience knows what that means. It's a bullying term.
Yes, Mom. So instead of being a bystander and watching bullying take place, you can be an bystander and just target bullying. Show others that are bystanding to take action and to address bullying.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Aliyah Harrison, for being on For the Health of It. And I hope that you will continue to grow from strength to strength.
Thank you, Ms. Sarah, for having me.
We are moving you to the life you want.
Attention HR managers and business leaders. Want to boost productivity, reduce absenteeism, and show your team that their well-being matters? The Lightroom now offers custom corporate memberships designed to enhance energy and mental clarity, reduce stress, and improve overall health, creating a healthier, more focused workforce. Invest in your team's well-being because a thriving team leads to a thriving business. Visit thelightroom.ky to learn more. It's a new era in wellness.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush. Brought to you by the Health Services Authority. Caring people, quality service. Visit hsa.ky.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health. 2 locations, Governor Square and Grand Harbor. Refill and transfer prescriptions online. Call 947-8900 or visit healthcarepharmacy.ky. Also brought to you by Cayman Medical Center, Cayman's most awarded private medical clinic.
And UHealth, International University of Miami.
World-class healthcare in the heart of Miami.
The Lightroom, your holistic sanctuary for physical and mental restoration, repair, and rejuvenation. The power that made the body heals the body. 38 Pasadora Place, Georgetown. Find us online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
We are Radio Cayman.
Covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. During the last Lionistic year, they successfully carried out community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, site screenings, spelling bee, swim meets, and their community food pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service during the 2025 Lionistic year and for many more years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years.
Traffic again? What in the world is going on?
Find out by tuning in to Radio Cayman's Traffic Report, brought to you 4 times daily during rush hours following the news at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 noon, and 5:15 p.m. and brought to you by Subway. Need a meal on the go? Subway has 7 locations at Anderson Square, West Shore Plaza, and Industrial Park in Georgetown, Centennial Towers, West Bay, Reef Resort, East End, Countryside Shopping Village in Savannah, and in the Owen Roberts Airport Departure Lounge. No matter if you're running late, need to cater an event, or a staff meeting, Subway keeps you fueled with sandwiches, salads, pizza, wraps, and snacks. Subway, eat fresh.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac. 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.